transition to the new normal, we have left others behind. We need to reimagine and redesign our educational system. With the collective effort of schools, sponsors, and TagPro's learning management system, and core of passionate teachers, we can deliver free education and champion the cause of our students. Together, we would be able to teach, inspire, and serve, because TagPros believes that education is a right all children deserve. transition to the new normal, we have left others behind. We need to reimagine and redesign our educational system. With the collective effort of schools, sponsors, and TagPro's learning management system, and core of passionate teachers, we can deliver free education and champion the cause of our students. Together, we would be able to teach, inspire, and serve, because TagPros believes that education is a right all children deserve.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Jim Toscano, and I am happy to introduce to you the new host of Tag Pros live webinars every Saturday. I am very honored, and it's my pleasure to introduce Miss Celine Estaris. Celine, or Miss Estaris, is a teacher. She's a social studies teacher. She's also an EdTech coach. She has expertise on online learning and using technology. And most importantly, also, she is a well connected educator and, of course, professional learning leader. She has involved herself in regional connections about education, not just here in Southeast Asia, but even in the whole world. So it's my honor and it's my pleasure to welcome Celine Estaris, the new host of TagPro's live webinars every Saturday. So please give her a round of applause. Welcome her as you welcome me and participate and enjoy our discussion because for sure Celine will give a different twist and perspective in our discussion. So welcome to the team, Celine, and welcome to our program.
Thank you so much, Jim. Good afternoon, everyone. As Jim mentioned, I am Celine and I will be your host for the Tag Pros webinar workshops that we'll be having every Saturday. So, welcome back to Teachers Can Create, upskilling teachers as content creators and instructional materials designers. This webinar workshop series is brought to you by Tag Pros Children in partnership with Tag Pros Education, an up and coming online K 12 education marketplace where passion takes the lead in learning. And Power Max Center, the pioneer and innovative Apple Premium reseller in the Philippines. This event is also made possible by the Department of Education International Cooperation Office, Teacher Education Network, and the Next Series. Last webinar workshop, we had a lively discussion and demonstration about how we can use Scratch and coding to gamify learning and teaching with John Kelvin Regla. Today we will be joined by Ms. Grace Montiel, and she'll be talking about teacher certifications, which I know a lot of teachers here are very eager to know more about. But before we get there, let's have an attendance check first. Let's see where our viewers today are tuning in from. So whether you're viewing this on Facebook or on YouTube, please just give a quick shout out to where you are viewing from. So I'm seeing our viewers. Some are from Camarines Sur. Okay, we have some from Rizal, from Cagayan. Okay, we have Lanao del Sur. I saw some people earlier shouting out from Iloilo. We have Caloocan. Now, it doesn't matter if you're watching from here or abroad, just let us know where you are coming from. Nueva Ecija, Ilocos Norte. Okay. So we're getting viewers from all over the country today, which is such a great thing to see. We're getting teachers from all over the Philippines. And not just the Philippines, but I believe we also have viewers from around the world. So that's great to know. All right. So thank you so much for all of you who are tuning in today. definitely getting viewers from all the different regions in the Philippines, different cities and provinces. Okay, so thank you so much for being with us here today. Now, before we go to our program for today, let's just have a couple of reminders. So just a few reminders for everybody. Please practice responsible digital citizenship throughout our session and refrain from sharing any personal information in the comments section. This would include your email or even your contact number. Let's be civil to one another as well in the comments section. Another reminder, please be reminded that registering for our webinar workshops or just watching the webinar workshop does not make you eligible for an e-certificate. So if you would like to receive an e-certificate for the webinar workshops, you will need to answer the evaluation forms that we release after every session. So that will be posted. The link to our evaluation form will be posted later on after this session. After we open the form, you have only 1 week to answer before we close it on Friday, promptly at 11:59 p.m. Okay, after that, no matter if you watch the webinar workshops or even if you registered for it, you cannot answer the evaluation form anymore and therefore will not be able to receive the e-certificate for it. So please make sure that you always answer our evaluation forms at the end of every session. We hope that you understand and remember this. All right, now before we go to the webinar workshop proper, we'll also be announcing the results of the raffle for last week's webinar workshop first. This raffle draw is made possible by none other than our partner Power Max Center. And for the first prize, everyone who has successfully accomplished the evaluation form last week will receive exclusive discounts when they purchase Power Max Center products. So for everybody who was able to accomplish that evaluation form last week, congratulations, you will be receiving discounts from Power Max Center. Okay? Don't forget that also anyone else who would like to be part of the raffle, you make sure that you always fill up our evaluation forms. Don't forget to fill it up later, and you can always find it on www.tagpros.org. All right, now we'll go to our second raffle prize. Our second raffle prize will have 12 lucky participants that will be receiving 500 pesos worth of e-vouchers on Power Max Center's online store. And here are our winners for the second raffle prize. All right, congratulations to all our winners of the 500 peso e-vouchers. Please take a look at our screen as we are flashing now the list of winners. Please check if your name is there. And don't forget, we'll also be posting these lists of winners on our page, so make sure that you're also following Tag Pros. All right. Okay. Let's move on to our next raffle prize. The next raffle prize has 20 lucky participants that will be receiving 20% worth of discount vouchers on chargeable services at any Power Max service center nationwide. Again, that's nationwide. So regardless of where you are in the Philippines right now, you will be able to make use of this voucher. So here is the list of our winners for the third raffle prize. Once again, congratulations to all of these lucky participants. All right, I hope that you will be able to make good use of that voucher, make the most out of it, visit your Power Max Center, and make sure to use that voucher that you have. All right, and then for our fourth raffle prize actually has a lot of winners. We will be having 100 lucky participants that will be receiving 500 pesos worth of training vouchers on any paid training at PBSI per webinar workshop session. Now, here are our 100 lucky winners. Again, we'll be flashing the names on the screen. You can check for your name And don't forget, these will also be posted on the Tag Pros Facebook page. So if you're not able to catch it now, you'll still be able to view it on our page. All right, congratulations to our 100 lucky winners. I'm sure as teachers, you'll be able to make great use of those vouchers and get the training that you need to improve yourself and help your students learn much more as well. Okay, and lastly, as we mentioned before, at the end of this webinar workshop series, one lucky participant will win one iPad 8th Gen 32 gig Wi-Fi. So again, please don't forget to answer the evaluation form at the end of every session. This is your last chance to do so. This is the last session for this particular series. So if you would like a chance to get to win that iPad, please make sure that you do not forget to answer our evaluation form. If you were able to attend all of the webinar workshops for this particular series, you can get up to 4 entries for the raffle. So let's not waste this opportunity. Let's not waste this chance. Make sure you get those evaluation forms in. Again, these wonderful raffle prizes are made possible by none other than Power Max Center. And if you want to be the next winner of these amazing prizes, just follow the instructions that we have on the screen right now. Okay, make sure that you watch our webinar workshops, complete the evaluation form at the end of each session, and follow Tag Pros Education and Power Max Center's social media pages. We will be announcing the winners for this week's webinar workshop next week. We are live on both Facebook and YouTube, so make sure to invite your family and friends to the live stream as well so that they can also join the raffle, especially if you have family and friends who are also educators. Let's invite them not only because they'll be winning amazing prizes, but also because there's a lot to learn here really at Tag Pros. Lastly, Tag Pros Children and Power Max Center are launching a photography contest titled Heroes of Learning, where students, teachers, and school leaders can nominate a teacher who has inspired them during learning in the pandemic. We saw that some of you have already uploaded your entries, and it's not too late to add yours. For those who have not submitted their entries as well, it's not too late. You still have an opportunity. If you want to join, the mechanics are on the screen. Okay, so please upload a photo of your favorite teacher in their best teaching moment. Write a caption or a short caption why they deserve the best. The caption will be up to 150 words. And then make sure to post the image on Facebook with the hashtag Heroes of Learning 2021. Please make sure as well that your posts are set to public so that we can also view them. Because if you set them to private, unfortunately, we will not be able to see it even if you use our hashtag. So always set your posts to public for this one. All right. So we will be choosing the top 4 entries from around the Philippines. We will have one winner from NCR, one from Luzon, one from Visayas, and one from Mindanao. And each of these winners will receive 10,000 pesos worth of prizes in the form of cash and products. Now, it's not only our heroes of learning who will be winning prizes, but also those people who nominated them. So our nominators will each also receive 2,500 pesos worth of prizes. So if you were the person who nominated one of our winning participants or one of our winning candidates, you will also be receiving 2,500 pesos worth of prizes in the form of products. The winners for this contest will be announced during our webinar panel discussion next week on October 9, 2021. You can take a look at the registration link in one of Tag Pro's posts about the Heroes of Learning to see further details about this contest. Winners will also be featured on Power Max Center and Tag Pro's social media pages starting October 9, 2021. So make sure that you get your entries in. It's not too late. You still have time to submit them. Here are a couple of the entries we've gotten so far. All right. So I hope everybody's excited, everybody's geared up to win some of our exciting prizes. Now that we've gone through all that, let's move on now to our session for today. So our speaker for today is an Apple Professional Learning Provider Senior Trainer, from PMC Business Systems, and she will be talking about what best certification path we can take as educators to level up our expertise in education technology. Let's welcome our speaker for today, Ms. Grace Montiel.
Hi everyone, good day. My name is Grace Montiel. I'm an Apple teacher and a senior trainer at PMC Business Systems Inc. And today we will talk about different certifications, online courses that you can take for your professional development. As you all know, na dahil sa pandemic po, we experience a lot of changes in terms of our approach sa pagtuturo. And from a face-to-face classes like this, we now transition to having online classes. And I believe po no, that this kind of transition is definitely mahirap din po para sa bawat isa. And even though that almost 2 years na tayo, I believe that some are still adjusting to these changes. And sa panahon na po na ito, mas lalo pong importante that we take time para mag-take ng classes or online courses that will help us as an educator para makapag-level up po tayo. And today po, that's what we're going to talk about. So meron po akong 4 different online courses that we'll be telling you today. And the first one is the Apple Teacher. So we have the Apple Teacher program. So ano ba to? So this is actually a free learning program to support educators using Apple products for teaching and learning. So the good thing about this po is this program is a self-paced journey through the Apple Teaching or Apple Teacher Learning Center. So in this program, you will learn and earn. So you'll learn from different resources found in the Apple Teaching Learning Centers. And in this one po, it contains lessons that included guided tutorials and ideas on how to apply what you've learned. And also get inspirations on how to go further with each new skill that you learn. So once you learn po, you'll also earn. So ano bang ma-earn mo? You'll earn badges. So for each lesson po that you will take, there's a quizzes. And then once you pass the quiz po, you'll earn a badge. And once you earn 6 badges, you'll become a recognized Apple teacher. So how to start with the Apple Teacher program? First, you'll need to sign up using your Apple ID. And if you don't have one, don't worry, it's very easy then to create. Make sure lang that you have an active email address. So this is what you would see po, no? Dun sa ating learning center. You would see different resources. Now wherein yung mga teachers sinishare nila on how they would able to integrate the Apple products sa kanilang pagtuturo. And meron din po tayo itong tinatawag na fundamentals. Ayan. So may 2 paths po ito. You could earn badges for Mac or for iPad. So sige, try po muna natin yung Keynote for Mac. So here, you would see the different lessons po that you would take for Keynote for Mac. So the first topic we have is the slides. So of course po, no, in every presentation, it starts with a theme. So when you choose a theme, meaning it contains a coordinated fonts, colors, slides layout with placeholders for images and text. So in Keynote po, may mga different template yon that you can choose from. Depende po sa ano po yung gagawin yung presentation. So let's go through dito sa lesson na ito. No? So, but instead of going through with this topic, with the keynote topic sa Learning Center, let me show you a demo na lang instead sa pamamagitan ng app mismo. Okay. So let me just open this keynote. So like what we mentioned, no, when you open Keynote, you'll see this template chooser. So again, different templates na pwede mong pagpilian depending on what kind of presentation you're going to create. So for this one, let's just choose this improve. So dito po sa taas, may mga different tools tayo. We have table, chart, text, shape, media, and then comment. We also have their format, the format inspector. And then of course, since this is a tool to create presentation, we also have the animate. So on this slide po, no, meron po siyang tinatawag na placeholder na wherein you could just click this icon para palitan po yung image. Or pwede rin naman, ang gawin mo na lang is drag and drop. So select the image and then drop it po doon sa ating placeholder. Like this. So let's just add another slide. So on this slide, let's try adding a media. So you could add a media from the Photos application mo. You could also add videos and even videos from the web. Good thing dito, it's very convenient kasi you don't have to download na the videos. Just have to simply paste the link dito. And yun lang, you just have to make sure that you are connected to the internet kapag magpe-present ka na para ma-play mo yung video. So let's try it. Ayan. So, another highlight here then, may interesting tool dito called the Instant Alpha. So, you could use the Instant Alpha to hide unwanted parts. So, let me just add a photo here muna. Ayan. So, si-notice na may photo ko dito na na-owl siya, pero may color black na background. So for some, gagamit pa sila ng ibang tool, no, to remove the background. Pero here, again, may tinatawag tayong tool na Instant Alpha. Wherein, you just have to select the photo, then go ka dun sa ating Format Inspector, then under the Image tab, use the Instant Alpha. So you just have to click the area para ma-choose mo yung color na gusto mong i-remove. And there, na-remove na natin yung ating background na color black. So also here in Keynote, meron tayo ditong shape tool wherein you could choose from the basic shapes. Also have here like the animals, transportation, ayan, places and activities. So, kung kailangan mo mag-add ng shape, try to check it here first para hindi mo na kailangan pang mag-download from the browser. So, and the good thing here is you could also customize the shapes na meron tayo dito. So, for example, nag-insert lang ako ng star. Ayan. And then, right-click ka lang. And then, press mo make editable. So, you would see there yung mga dots na wherein you could drag it para bago mo yung itsura ng shape na yon. For example, like this. Ayan. Random lang. And the good thing here is once naka-customize ka ng shape, pwede mo tong is-save na to be part of your shape gallery. So para kung gagamitin mo siya ulit, nandun na siya, madali mo na lang siyang mahanap. And aside from saving it to your My Shapes, kung ayaw mo naman mag-customize ng shape, pwede kang mag-create ng sarili mo shape instead. So click on shape and then you will see this tool. And then just start drawing your shape. And then same thing, pwede mo siyang i-add sa iyong shape gallery. Another highlight dito is meron tayong tinatawag na transition called magic move. So magic move po is a good transition to use, especially if the two slides contain similar objects na ang difference lang ay ang size or location. For example, I'll insert here these 3 owls. Ayan. Notice niyo po, no, nung nire-resize ko siya, may makikita kayong yellow guides. So, madali mong malalaman if it's centered or aligned with other objects. So, now, nalagay na natin siya. Just have to duplicate this slide. And then on the next slide, I'll add a branch. So I would like it to look like as if these owls are sitting dun sa ating tree. So now let's add an animation. So pwede ko naman gawin na ito na lang na animation yung piliin ko, like dissolve. Pero hindi siya masyadong maganda. Since I'm using parehong object dun sa slide, maybe ang best talaga, it's yung magic move. Ayan. So notice, it's a seamless transition from one slide to another. So very good gamitin tong magic move. Let's say you are creating or rather telling a story. So you can use this as a transition for your visuals. Once you're done creating a presentation, another good thing pala is you could also record a voiceover dito. So here sa taas, you could click on play and then record slideshow. So you could press on the record button and then do play your presentation na may narration para you could export it as a movie. And then you could share these materials to your students. So pwede nilang gamitin yung ni-record mo na presentation as a reference material. And then last one is, I know that this time no, na more of nagka-present tayo online. There are times that when you click on the play button, of course, ganito yung makikita ng audience mo at ikaw din as a presenter. So there's no way for you para makita yung presenter notes. And now, since dahil nauso na ang conferences, Keynote added this new feature called Play Slideshow in Window. Now, wherein, magiging ganito siya, itsura. Ayan. So, para kung mag-share ka na ng iyong screen online, you just have to select this window. And yun yung makikita ng iyong audience. And then you have this another window na dun mo mababasa ang iyong presenter notes. All right. And that is the highlights na meron tayo sa keynote. So going back dun sa ating learning center, let's say master mo naman na yung keynote and or maybe nag-go through mo itong lahat ng lesson na ito, you'll see here sa baba a way to take the quiz. So now let's try to answer the quiz. So sige, let's go through with this para ma-help ko kayo to earn your first badge. So now we earned our first badge. So when you click this, you will be routed to your profile and you will see there yung badge mo na na-earn na. And then again, once you complete these badges or 6 badges, you'll receive this certificate. Aside from Apple Teacher Program, meron pa tayong other certificate that you can earn online. So if you are creative, then you can try the Adobe Creative Educator Program or the ACE program. So this is an exclusive community for educator wherein you can access free lessons, professional learning content, and level certification with digital badges. So this program naman is more of sparking creativity in you and your students. And through this program, you'll have a better understanding why being creative or sparking creativity is essential for students' success. So how to start for ACE program? Simple lang, you have to log in to edx.adobe.com and create your profile. So here po, you'll see different teaching resources. No? So you'll see teaching resources by subject area. And you'll also see how other educators were able to integrate this tool in their classes. And of course, we have the professional learning. Ayan. So we have this, the Creativity for All. This is the course that you have to take in order to receive the Adobe Creative Educator Level 1 badge. Good thing here is this is a self-paced program Meaning, kung wala kang time to accomplish it in one sitting, then pwede mo siyang balikan kung kailan ka may time. And hindi naman po basta-basta nag-expire yung pagkaka-enroll mo doon sa course. So this is how it looks like. When you click a specific lesson, it would be composed of videos then na papanoorin mo to further understand yung topic. And at the end of the course po, you have to submit an assignment. So very easy lang din naman to yung assignment, no? So you just have to submit it. Then you also have to review a work of a peer or someone na enrolled din dun sa program. So once that your work is approved, you will receive a digital badge and also an email with a link to download your course certificate. So this is a certificate for 3 hours of professional learning. The next one that we have po is the Microsoft Innovative Educator. So if you're someone who's using Microsoft tools in your classroom, then you can join this community. So again, this is also a free professional development hub wherein you would be able to learn latest educational research as well as tools to implement best practices. So this community po, it offers points and badges for completing courses. And you'll also be able to connect with educators around the globe. So to start on this program po, you just have to go to education.microsoft.com. So here, same thing, just have to log in using your valid email address. And you'll have access to different lesson plans, no? And also different courses. So for courses po, ayan, may mga different courses siya and may mga different level of difficulty din. So when you select a course, you would see yung duration ng course na yon, and as well as what you will earn at the end of completing the course. So what badge you will earn. So makikita nyo po siya. Meron din po tayong tinatawag na learning path, wherein on this learning path naman po, same thing, you would see the duration or hours po, no, to complete that path. And each learning path po is composed of different courses. Now, wherein aside dun sa badge na ma-earn mo kapag na-complete mo yung path na yon, you will also earn badges for completing each lesson of that path po. So to become a Microsoft Innovative Educator, you just have to complete at least 2 hours of training or maybe 2 courses po na 2 hours. And you also have to make sure po that, of course, you pass the quizzes at the end of each courses. So in order to pass po, at least you have to get an 80% po na grade for that one. So yung Microsoft Innovative Educator po, it's more of using Microsoft tools and also learning the fundamentals about it. So once you're done taking the 2-hour course, then you receive this badge and also this certificate. And the last one po na certificate that we could earn is the Google Educator. So here in Google Educator, you could access this naman po through the edu.google.com. So it has free contents din po, no? So meron po silang training like for fundamentals and advanced. So if you're someone who's using Google tools in their class and gusto mo pang ma-find out more yung tungkol sa mga tools na ito, then take mo yung fundamentals and advanced courses nila. And if you've mastered on how to use Google Workspace for education, then you can take the exam. So may level 1 and level 2 po ang exam na ito. And then if you pass the exam, you'll become a Google educator po. So depende po sa ano tinake ninyo. So if you take the level 1 exam, which is the first one, then you become a Google certified Google educator level 1. So yun po yung makaka-receive na kayo ng badge ninyo and then ng certificate. So yung certification po na ito talaga ay may bayad. So for the level 1, it's $10. And then this certificate or certification is valid for 3 years. So may path din po ito na yung sa Google. Once you done with the Google Educator level 1 and level 2, then you could become a trainer na. You could become a certified trainer for Google po, or even coach or certified innovator. So yun po yung path naman that you could take with Google. So those are the courses that you could take po, no? Or even certification na pwede nyo pong i-try online. So again, meron po tayong Apple Teacher Program. We also have Adobe Creative Educator, Microsoft Innovative Educator, and then the last one is the Google Educator. So to end po this session, I just would like to leave you a quote from Abigail Adams. Sabi po doon, learning is not attained by chance. It must be sought for with ardor and attended to with diligence. So I hope po that you would really take time to learn and develop yourselves. And with all the options that I showed you, I hope that you'll choose the right track for you and you'll able to take your first step today. Again, this is Grace Montiel, and thank you for attending this session.
All right. Thank you so much, Grace, for sharing your expertise with us. Let's all give her a big round of applause. Thank you so much, Grace, for sharing all of that with us. Now, I'm sure some of you have questions for our speaker, and I did see a couple of them earlier in the comment section. So let's welcome to our virtual stage, Miss Grace Montiel. So I will be going through some of the different questions that you've sent us during the session, and then later on, if we still have time, we'll be opening the floor for further questions. Right now, Grace, I actually have a question myself first. Why are certifications important for teachers? What do we get from it? What are the certain benefits that come with getting certifications?
So ako, yung answer ko more of personal experience din na. So it's more of first, you would able to grow your knowledge and skills. Because I firmly believe that if you are doing something, parang why not go in a parang extra mile now on it. So if you're using, let's say, a technology, like for my case, I've been using Apple products. So why not go an extra mile, finding out more on what you could get with these devices that you're using. Second thing is, it's also an opportunity to, kumbaga, meet other people who are the same with may same certification, no? So for my case, since may mga workmate na was also an Apple certified trainers, then we could share ideas, and we also have a community that we're in. We could parang kumbaga mas mag-learn kasi of course for I know you understand Miss Elena, teacher. So meron kang kumbaga may mga learning sila or kumbaga ginawa sila that you could also apply on your end. So that's why for me it's very important kasi first again increase of knowledge, no, and then second it's also parang kumbaga learning within the community who also has the same credibility.
I agree with that, Grace. Thank you so much for answering that question. So that's true. I find that getting these certifications really helps to not only improve ourselves as teachers and really level up that level of knowledge and skills that we have, but it also allows us to network with other teachers in our country and even around the world who have the same passions, the same level of skills, and it allows us also to learn from them as well. So it's a great learning opportunity for everybody. So thank you so much, Grace. And I see a couple of questions here from the comment section. So you did tell us a lot about the different options that we have as teachers for the different certifications that we can get. You went over Apple and then Microsoft and then Google. So we have all these amazing opportunities. We have all these amazing options to choose from. We have a couple questions here about those options that you've presented. So we have a question from Merle de La Paz. Paano po ba maging member ng Apple Teacher? Kailangan po ba na Apple computer ang gamitin? So do they need an Apple computer or Apple device to become an Apple Teacher?
Okay. With that, hindi naman necessary talaga, no, that you have an Apple device. You could actually access yung minention ko kaninang like, what do you call this, the apps, yung Keynote. You could access it even sa Apple, iCloud.com rather. So iCloud.com. You could access that there. Pero yun still, kailangan mo meron kang email. So kailangan meron kang Apple ID na makikreate for that. Yun lang, kapag sa iCloud.com, it's like limited kasi wala doon yung like yung iMovie, wala din doon yung GarageBand. So most likely, mga productivity applications lang yung magagamit doon sa iCloud.com.
Okay, thank you so much, Grace. I hope that clarified it for everybody. So no need to have an Apple device. You just need iCloud and then an email that you can link with it for your account. And we have another question from Desiree Tan Buenafe. Is this applicable po sa iPad 8th Gen or MacBook lang po? I think this is referring to the use of the Keynote features that you showed earlier.
Okay. So if yung Keynote po yung question, no, applicable naman siya sa iPad. However, may mga limitations lang. I think may mga ibang features na hindi lang available sa iPad, and then vice versa, of course, hindi na siya available sa Mac po.
Okay, thank you so much for that one, Grace. We have a couple more questions here from Felipe SJ. Good afternoon, ma'am. Free po ba yung mga online courses na yan? So are these online courses free? I believe for Microsoft, for Google, you mentioned that it is a paid course and a paid certification course, but what about for the other ones?
Okay, yung first three na mention ko, yun naman yung good thing, no? Of course, alam natin, gusto natin ng mga free. So, yun po, free naman po yun. Yung mga mention ko, again, it's Adobe. We also have Apple, and we also have Microsoft. Kung sa Google naman po, if you just would like to learn really like the fundamentals, what are the ways that you could actually use these tools in education, free po yung course itself. But if you would like to receive like a certificate or a badge for that, then you have to take the exam, which is yun po yung may bayad. Pero kung learning lang ang gusto natin, yun, free po yun. And I think marami pa pong available, no? Yung limited lang po yung mention ko, 4 lang yun. Pero if you would be searching online, I have tried also like a course from edX ba yun? Or EDX courses. So it's a free platform din na may mga courses for teachers or whatever would like you to learn. And yun lang din, kung gusto mo makareceive ng certificate, you have to pay extra for that. Pero kung again, learning lang, you could check it. The website po, it's let me check Ayan, edx.org. So yan, free din po yung mga content na meron doon.
Thank you, Grace. So for those who are interested, I believe you can check out also that website that Grace mentioned, edx.org. And that's great to know that a lot of these courses are actually free, even the Google one. So if you're interested in learning more about these features, or you're just interested in maybe upskilling yourself, then it's definitely worth checking out because they are free. And most of the certifications are also free. For Google, it's just that if you want to really receive that certificate, you have to pay for it. But I believe that's an investment in yourself, right? You have to make that investment sometimes. It's also a way to prove that you have the capabilities as a teacher. And it's a great way of proving that you have that level of skill and knowledge. So thank you so much, Grace. Now, if there are any more questions, please feel free to drop them in the comment section. We still have some time to address some of the questions that you might have about the different programs and certificate courses that Grace mentioned. I'd also like to add that if you are teachers who use a lot of EdTech tools, make sure to check out those websites of those EdTech tools as well. So some examples would be Seesaw, Book Creator, Edpuzzle, Kahoot, Quizzes, Nearpod, any of those EdTech tools, because a lot of our EdTech tools nowadays, they come with certifications as well. So if you use them frequently and you're very well versed with the use of those tools, you might as well check out if they have certification opportunities, because a lot of our tools have that nowadays. For example, for Seesaw, they have the ambassadors. So you could receive a title, a badge, and again, it's a great way of showcasing your skills and knowledge as a teacher. Okay, so let's take a look if we have other questions. All right. Another question that we have here is, should we get all badges? Is it necessary to get all badges from the courses? Like, for example, maybe from Apple and Microsoft and Adobe. Should all of those badges be collected? Is that required, Grace?
Oh, sorry. You mean per course? Gusto mo ba yung question niya? Like per
Yeah.
course. Oh, okay. For Apple, you have to take 6 badges para maka-receive ka ng certificate and matawag kang Apple teacher. For the case naman po nung sa Adobe, if I'm not mistaken, you just have to take there yung specific course, like yung Creativity for All. So if you take that, you would be receiving a certificate and also a level 1 badge for ACE po. Ayan. So, on the other hand naman, for Microsoft Innovative Educator, again, ang kailangan mo po doon, it's 2 hours lang na course na iti-take mo. So, I think ang best po sa Microsoft, kung mag-take ka nun, you have to take the fundamentals. Para kapag na-take mo yung fundamentals na yun, which is equivalent to 2 hours na rin, then you will receive the badge and na Microsoft Innovative Educator ka na po. Ayan.
Okay, so looks like it depends on the platform, right, and on the provider. So for some like Apple, you need to receive a certain number of badges before you can actually be certified, while for others like Microsoft, the badge actually represents your certification already. So that's great to know. Thank you so much for informing us of that, Grace. Another question that we have is, what about expirations? Do these certificates, do these badges or licenses expire for these different platforms?
If I'm not mistaken, ang may expiration po lamang ay yung sa Google po. So, yun po ay valid lang siya for 3 years. Then, you have again to take it, if I'm not mistaken, para magkaroon ka ng new certificate. However, for the Apple, hindi po siya nag-expire. Hindi rin po, yung sa same with ACE, no? Ang good naman sa ACE, no, may level 2 pa nga yun. So, hindi po nag-expire yung, and the same thing with Microsoft po. Unless, I think, if I'm not mistaken, ang kitake mo po ay yung really in a certain application. So, let's say you would like to learn sa Photoshop. May mga certifications po kasi yun na wherein you would be credible to teach even how to use that application. So, yun po yung may bayad sa Microsoft. Pero, may expiration. Pero yung sa ano naman po, yung normal lang, like for educators, wala pong expiration yet.
Thank you, Grace. Okay, so it looks like it depends again. There are certain certifications that will allow you to benefit from it for a lifetime. I suppose like Apple, it doesn't really expire, but for Google, it does. And then for others, they level up. So you don't just stop at level 1, but you can keep going and even receive a license to teach that particular tool. So great to know. We have a couple more questions. How can students benefit from my certification? So how will our students, as teachers, how will our students benefit from those certifications that we get, that we receive?
Okay, as teachers, no, parang kung naka-receive sila, yeah. So, siguro ang benefit sa students mo, parang they would be it's also a level up for your profession, eh. So, you would be more credible on teaching that, in teaching, as also parang integrating that application in the classroom. So, I think the best lang naman po talaga sa mga certificate is, aside from understanding how to use it, a bonus po dun din talaga is you will see resources on how these teachers were able to integrate this. So parang kumbaga, yun yung benefit sa students kasi 'di ba for now, especially now 'no, 'pag kunyari may assignment, pinagawa ng presentation. So gagawa lang ng presentation na PowerPoint lang. So why not try to integrate maybe collaboration and maybe uso na ngayon yung mga video. So from there, benefits then that the students would see yung capability pa pala nitong tool na ginagamit nila aside sa the usual na way ng paggamit nila doon.
I agree with that. The learning that we get from these courses really trickles down and carries over to our students because since we're learning a lot more as teachers, we also are able to learn to provide more learning to our students as well. We can teach them more, and we do have. You mentioned we have access to resources, so I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that there are certain tools that once you receive certification or licenses like that, you also get access to certain resources, exclusive resources that they provide to educators who only have those certifications. Is that correct?
Sorry, I didn't quite get that. Can you repeat that, Miss
Sorry. So when a teacher receives like a certification or a badge, I believe there are some who also provide exclusive resources to those teachers, and only those with certifications are able to access those resources. Is that correct?
Okay, depende, no? So may mga community talaga na parang it's already exclusive for those na may badges lang. Pero may iba talagang community naman that's really open for all. So I think for Apple, or sorry, yung mga certain learning centers, no? Yung mga site na pinuntahan natin kanina, meron talagang resources na doon na they could access for free kahit hindi pa sila naging certified. However, for the community I'm referring to, there are some that, like communities sa Facebook or sa social media. So, may mga community akong nakita na they ask muna if you are certified before you're able to enter the community. Pero may isa ba akong community na enter, parang they encourage you to enter that community even though you're not certified, hoping that eventually you would be encouraged to get certified on that specific community.
All right, that's great to know. Okay, I actually see here another interesting question. Merle de la Paz raised this question. Paano po ma'am pag bumagsak, pwede po bang umulit ng exam? So if we fail the course quizzes, are we able to take those again?
Oo naman, pwedeng ulitin. So, I've tried it 'no, para tinest ko yung sarili ko kasi gusto kong makita kung hanggang saan ba yung extent nitong ano na 'to, parang quizzes. So, I test it, pwede naman, di ka naman nila yung 'pag wala ka ng pag-asa. So, since this is for free, you could actually take again the quizzes. And good thing, yung quizzes naman po, hindi siya sobrang hirap. It's really more of practical. So, kumbaga, fundament or foundational skill siya. So if you are knowledgeable na dun sa application, I doubt kung magfi-fail ka dun sa short quiz na yon.
Okay. I believe there's an exception though for Google. Tama ba?
Yeah. Yun lang.
Kasi Google, you have to pay for the exam, right? So if you do end up failing that exam, you'll have to register again to take it again. Correct? Yes. Okay.
That's correct.
Thank you, Grace. All right, we have more questions. Can we use these certificates in renewing our PRC licenses? Are these credited towards our continuing professional development units?
Actually, I haven't tried it yet. Pero based dun sa Adobe, they're encouraging to try to check, no, if they would actually credit this for you as renewing your licenses. And yun, sabi ni Sir Jim, hindi CPD accredited. I think unless it's been provided by a training center na mag-accredit sila ng CPD points.
So if they apply for CPD units with DepEd talaga, no, or PRC,
yes, that's correct.
Unless they do that, they're not credited. All right. So it's more of really development of the self rather than for research, re-licensing or reapplying for your license. Okay, let's see. We have more questions from Rolian Banyes. Would you recommend people teaching topics that they are not certified in? So can teachers teach topics or maybe teach about tools that they do not have certifications in? Is that possible?
Ako Sir Roland, it's really more of me, recommendation, I mean, opinion ko, no? So ako, kung teacher ka lang and you're not really teaching the application to a parang sort of extent, then that's okay. Kunyari, a portion of it lang. Pero if you're really making, let's say, pinagkakitaan mo na, ganyan. So, I encourage talaga that you get certified on that application. Credible ka rin talaga. So, I believe there are even certain training centers that the teachers on that specific tool or tool talaga na ginagamit, they are certified para yung lahat ng things that you need to know on that specific tool, you could actually learn it. Pero if just a portion of that tool and you're a teacher, I think that's okay.
All right. So maybe for more informal trainings, right, within like your faculty group or your group of teachers in your department, you can share some of the features of those tools. But I guess the certification is better for when you're teaching a large group already or in a teaching center or something like that where you really have to train teachers. It's better to have the certification as also maybe proof that you're a credible source of the information and skills that you're teaching. All right. Okay, we have one more. What can you say about teachers who collect certifications and titles and badges but do not apply them in the classroom? Is that good? Is that a good thing that they are collecting so many of these badges but they are not able to really apply them when they teach?
Ako personally nakakasad, nakakalungkot 'yun 'no, yung parang you just or, kumbaga learn pero you did not put it into practice. Kasi I believe that the first time that you even try to study on these things, you have a purpose in mind. You have a kumbaga motivation why you're doing such thing. So if you're not able to apply it, I think masasayang yung, kumbaga yung learning mo na yun. Kasi you would not being able to at least test yung na-learn mo. At the same time, you will not be able to stretch it out. Kasi for some teachers that I met, kumbaga una, takot silang gamitin yung tool. So, pero nung na-try nilang ginamit na nila ng ginamit, they were able to still, kumbaga, produce parang kumbaga mas magandang output. So, if you don't, as a teacher, no, if you don't want to, parang kumbaga gusto maging stagnant ka na lang, then that's okay, not apply it. Pero, but if you would like your students to develop through your help, then it's best that if we're going to use these learnings that we acquire in the classroom po.
I completely agree with that, Grace. You know, we are getting these badges not just to improve ourselves, but also, of course, for our students to benefit. So, what use are these badges, these certifications, if we're not really making use of them and maximizing them to help our potential and also our students to learn better, right? So, of course, those certifications are offered by these different platforms, those different tools to really give us an opportunity to improve student learning as well. So let's not waste, of course, our certifications, our badges. Let's make the most use of it and let's really apply it. Like what Grace mentioned, sayang din kasi, like it's such a waste that we spend the time and effort to get these badges only for them to be like trophies for us, right? Just for display. So let's not use them just for display. Let's actually show that we earn those badges. Okay, we have a question here from Jason Antonio. I believe we answered this partially earlier, but perhaps you can, maybe you are familiar. He's asking what are certificate training and webinars credited by DepEd. So maybe you are familiar with any certifications that DepEd would credit, Grace. I'm not sure if you are. Go ahead.
Actually, I'm not so sure right now, no, ano yung mga kine-credit nila. Pero kung ang question ni Jason is more of, like I mentioned earlier, CPD points, they could actually check ano ba yung mga centers that were able to create a training wherein ma-credit sila for CPD points. Pero doon sa mga na-mention ko kaninang apat, I'm not really sure as of now, no, if nailakad na ba ito para kahit nag-take ka online, ma-credit siya for a points.
Okay, so I guess our recommendation is for you to possibly check with DepEd themselves and maybe PRC as well, which ones they would credit. But I do see here that all these platforms like Google, Microsoft, and Adobe Ace, they are recognized by DepEd. So they do recognize them as teacher achievements. However, they are not automatically CPD accredited, or they do not automatically count towards any CPD units. Okay, do we have any further questions before we let go of Grace for today? So we had a bunch of really great questions here, and I learned a lot as well. Grace, personally, I took the Apple Teacher accreditation, so I am a licensed Apple teacher. However, I haven't gone through Microsoft yet, and Google as well as Adobe A. So perhaps those are my next goals for the coming year, to really pursue trying to get those other certifications as well. Okay, so I think we're good on questions here. Thank you so much, Grace, again, for all the learning that you have provided for us, all the information you've shared with us today, and for answering the questions that our viewers really wanted to have some light shed on. Okay, so thank you, Grace. All right, that ends our open forum for today's webinar workshop. Now, if you have any further questions that maybe you were not able to think of during this session, but maybe will pop up in your mind later on, you may forward them to us at Tag Pros Education on our Facebook page, and we will try our best to give you the answers you seek from Grace and our other speakers as well if needed. So once again, thank you. All right, so make sure to also tell us what you thought about today's webinar workshop in the evaluation form. The link will be flashed on the screen and will also be posted in the comments section. So remember that answering the evaluation form is necessary for you to claim your e-certificate for this webinar workshop, as well as for getting an entry to our raffle draw. You don't want to miss those great raffle prizes that we have. So make sure that you definitely open up our evaluation form and finish it within a week. You only have 1 week to answer the evaluation form to get the e-certificate. My suggestion would definitely be to check that out now so that you don't forget. Okay? All right. Thank you again so much for tuning in today. This ends our webinar workshop for this Saturday. And of course, I hope to see you all again at our next webinar workshop next week, where we will be having a panel discussion on why technology alone will not solve educational problems with will not only solve educational problems, and we'll be having our previous speakers, Joseph Kelvin Regla, Maling Raisag, and Grace Montiel, to speak with us and join us for this panel discussion. Make sure to register for this month's webinar workshops at the link that will be posted. So that is bit.ly/tagpros October webinar 2. This link will be posted here, as well as on our comment section and the Tag Pros Facebook page. All right. So as always, please keep updated with Tag Pros Education by following our social media pages. Remember that we are here in Facebook as well as on YouTube. And make sure to invite your family and friends as well to tune in with our webinar workshops. And finally, teach your passion and be a Tag Pros Education teacher partner. In Tag Pros Education, you can create your ideal classroom and teach students from all around the world at your own convenience. You may join us as a Tag Pros Education teacher partner at bit.ly/tagprosteacherpartner. The link for that, again, will be posted as well on our Facebook page, so feel free to join us if you're interested in becoming a teacher partner. Again, I am Celine. I was your host for today, and I hope to see you all again next week. Thank you for joining us, and have a great rest of your day.